Hello everyone, my name is Lily and I'm the creative director here at Bubblegum Cartoons, and today I will be doing a speed animate. I'm really excited because I haven't animated in quite a long time. Things have been super busy lately, between kind of like rebranding my Instagram and just work has been crazy, and I've been really trying to put together a better storyboarding portfolio, so I've been focusing more on storyboarding for Demonic Crepes and just kind of cleaning it up, because you guys know, if you've been watching for a while now, that I kind of do things backwards. I just kind of do thumbnail sketches, and even Sophie's Picnic Panic was honestly more script driven, which is kind of weird for me, because I usually am a very visual person. But yeah, so that was just like a really basic outline, and so I went back and I storyboarded the whole thing. So I just realized for a while I haven't really actually sat down and taken a couple days to just animate something. And I mentioned this idea to you guys before and you sounded super interested. So I have Sophie from our original web series Demonic Crepes is dancing with Alistair, the demon prince from the Noble Quadrant, who has a very big crush on her. And yeah, it's kind of like this super weird fanficky animation. Is it fanfic if I'm doing it? No, it's just regular fic, huh? So this is the choreography from the song Black and Gold. It was in the movie Fame. It was also done again once more in the show Bunheads, which I loved. If you guys didn't know, I'm a huge ballet fanatic. And it was in one of their final episodes, I believe. And it's a beautiful dance number, and I've always admired the choreography, so I'm like, I want to animate this, just so you guys know. Dance animation's really hard, because especially because she's dancing with two guys. You haven't seen the other guy yet before, but he's a character in the show, and I'm really excited. You guys can argue in the comments next week who's your fave, because he's going to be in the speed draw for next week. Since I will actually be going home next week to New England, I will be leaving sunny California just to visit home. So I did these two speed animates in 2 days. So I actually got all the rough animation done only in 2 days, which is pretty great for having 3 characters. So this has been so much fun. I love just getting back to my roots, getting back to animating again. Of course, it's on Toonboom as always. I'll probably do the backgrounds in Procreate on the iPad. And this is just super fun. It was super challenging because anatomy is my worst thing, and obviously they're not, atomically correct people because they're cartoons. But it was really hard because I hardly ever draw guys or boys in general. So it was hard to get realistic muscles and stuff like that, and make him look actually manly and not like a little girl, because I only really draw girls. And they have to be in motion. He has to be lifting her. And to make it even more, because it's not a Lily animation unless I challenge myself really unnecessarily. He's got 4 arms. Where are the other arms going? Because I have the reference choreography, and of course he's a human boy with only 2 arms, so where's the 4th arm gonna go? Oh boy. So it was a lot to figure out, and there's a lot of panning of the camera because I didn't want to show their feet all the time, because I felt that was a little distracting. It was more in the emotion that they have together, and you'll notice you can just see in their facial expressions how she feels about each of the guys. So with Alistair, as she's kind of spinning away from him, she kind of has this kind of look in her eyes. It's kind of this flirty oh, I know you're into me, but you're just kind of annoying. And then when she's dancing with Mystery Man, who will be revealed next week, she's kind of looking more sweetly on him, and she looks almost like she has her heart's fluttering and she has this crush, and you can just see how they dance with each other and how they look at each other and how they move. With him, it's sharper, it's turns, it's dips, it's highs and lows, and with the other guy, it's all kind of smooth and all highs, and it goes a little slower, and they take longer to look at each other. This dance choreography was so much fun. I'm gonna try to explain it best I can, but this was very interesting because you guys might know that I like to do straight ahead animation for the most part, which is when you just kind of animate straight ahead. You just kind of make it up as you go. You have an idea in your brain, because I'm one of those people who are I know what I want, and I just do it. But since this was dance animation, I wanted to make sure the timing was just right, and I wanted to make sure I didn't over animate or under animate anything, and I wanted it to look just right. So I actually took keyframes from the dance. So when I pick keyframes, it's main things I want to see. So if they're turning around, I'll do facing forward, back of the head, side view, and then you figure out the frames that are in between those. But you just kind of get those basic things down. It's good to do that just for consistency, so like their head doesn't change sizes and things like that. So it was very different for me. And keyframes are the best part, and so it seems super tedious when all of a sudden you're just like, oh man, like now I have to go in and do all like the weird, like you'll see like sometimes there's like kind of weirdish shots of their head because it's in perspective. And I kind of struggled a little bit with Alistair's design because he is more detailed in his face than Sophie is. She's just kind of like a smiley face, honestly, with like big eyes. And then he's like, he actually has a nose, he has 4 eyes, and he has kind of like pancake eyes, because anyone who has like magical powers has these kind of like slit demon eyes. I don't think he's actually a demon. I think that's kind of more of like a slur to him, because he's more of like the noble card, and he has, the difference between him and a monster is that he has magical abilities. One of the main ones he's working on is how to create dimensions. And in one of the episodes I plan later, he makes a dimension for Sophie, which is really sweet. Yeah, I've really come to enjoy Alistair. He's kind of changed a lot. When I first created this character, he was just like pure evil. Like he was awful. Like, he was gonna like burn the planet Earth, and Sophie had to stop him, but it was kind of cute, and he would like follow around everywhere. But then I thought that was kind of extra problematic and not very, because he's supposed to, I plan on him being redeemable, so I don't feel like if he was murderous or anything like that, it would really, I would ever like him again. Because as a kid, I feel like you tend to be more sympathetic towards those like lovable jerk characters, and I want him to be a lovable jerk, but at the same time, like, there's some things you can't come back from. Like when people ask me, has Pancake murdered people? And I'm looking at Sophie, and she's cuddling in bed with this kitty cat in a sweater, and I'm like, if he's murdered people, how can she sit in a bed with this murder cat? So the whole point of this dance, and the whole part of the scene, was the duality between good and evil, and how Sophie's in between, and she's neither. So obviously Alistair is this bad guy, he's this bad boy type, and she's dancing with him, but then the other mystery boy is all the good in the world, and she's somewhere in between, because she seems like, off the top of your head, like, oh, she's a sweet girl, she just wants to be an artist, she moved to Japan, she's always upbeat and everything like that, but you know, how good could she be if she's helping a demon? So yeah, this whole dance is kind of about morality. Alrighty guys, here's the finished-ish animation, and then next week you'll see Mystery Boy on the other side. Shout out to the fan art of the week. I love this one. Helen Parr official. This is so awesome. This is Sophie with her bubblegum powers. This is in a later episode. I love this so much, and Helen Parr official is so kind to me on Instagram. Thank you so much. And shout out, of course, to our patrons on Patreon. You guys are so awesome. We have all these new things going on Patreon right now. I'm doing monthly newsletters that look kind of like a cafe menu. The first one I did for April is public, so you can go check that out. So those will be monthly, and I do these silly vlogs all the time. They're like super chill, they're super relaxed. I just talk to you guys about my process. You guys get to learn about things before anyone else, and just see more behind the scenes of how I make my cartoon show. So if you guys would like to be a patron, go on over to the Patreon page, and these guys, Javier Mendez and Pro Comics and Nadir, are all on the pudding level. If you guys cannot give to the Patreon, don't even worry about it. Just share these videos with your friends. It really helps out. Alrighty, thank you guys so much. And until next time, stay inspired.